Bowl Pick'em episode. It's been a minute since we've been together and had a podcast. A lot of stuff going on. Busy time of the year. Been traveling a little bit here, but I wanted to take some time, give you this video. I'm going to give you all 43 bowl games we're going to go over. I'm going to give you a pick in each and every game. So yeah, let's get into the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below. So first off, Bahamas Bowl, Middle Tennessee State versus Toledo. Toledo is going to continue this hot streak. I think they win pretty easily. Give me Toledo minus 10. Confidence of 1.5 out of 5. Next up, the Cure Bowl, Northern Illinois versus Coastal Carolina. I'm actually going to be at this bowl down here in Orlando. I think Grayson McCall, he came back, I believe, the last game of the season against Texas State, and he looked good for Coastal, looking to get them to 12 wins this season, which would be another milestone. But Coastal Carolina is 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 games, which worries me. Northern Illinois is 5-3 against the spread as a dog this season, also coming off a huge win against in the MAC championship against Kent State. I think the only play here is NIU plus 10.5, and I like the confidence of around 4.5 in that game. Next up, we got the Boca Raton Bowl, Western Kentucky versus App State. Both teams lost in their conference championships game. Western Kentucky, Conference USA, App State, Sun Belt. I think the game here, I'm not taking a total. I'm not taking the spread. The spread's only like around 2-3 with App State being favored. I think the pick here has to be the over at 67.5. Western Kentucky, second highest scoring offense in the country. They can't stop anybody. App State with Bryce at quarterback, he can sling the rock. I think this game goes over. It's a safe play. I like it on a scale about a 3 out of 5. Next up, we have the New Mexico Bowl. Fresno State giving 11.5 to UTEP. Now, Fresno State, if you would ask me about 3 weeks ago, this game, I'm taking the line's probably around 20, and I'm taking Fresno State. Now, Fresno State's quarterback gone, went to Washington. Fresno State's quarterback gone in the transfer portal. UTEP hasn't won a bowl game since the 60s. Extra motivation. I like UTEP plus 11.5. Sprinkle on the money line with a confidence of a 3 out of 5. Next up, we got the Independence Bowl, BYU versus UAB. I don't understand this line. Okay. Now, personally, you just ask yourself while you're listening to this podcast, a ranked team playing UAB. A ranked team playing UAB on a neutral site. What does the line have to be? Bare minimum 14, right? No, it's 7. Some books have it up to 8. I don't care. I'd play this up to 10. Give me BYU and the points. BYU has been solid all season long. UAB, yeah, they've been competitive. They have a good run defense, but the games that they were really in, they lost this year. So, like, they lost to UTSA. I believe they lost to Western Kentucky. And BYU is getting slept on. Sataki just got a deal, their coach, a massive contract. And they just run the rock and they play defense. Give me the Cougars, easy. Lending Tree Bowl next. Liberty minus 8.5 versus Eastern Michigan. Eastern Michigan has allowed a close to 200 yards rushing per game this season. That's very high. They're going against a team like Liberty with Malik Willis. You haven't seen him? Watch him. Some people compare him to Lamar Jackson. He's going to go in the first round of the draft this year. Yes, Liberty's lost the last 3 games. However, I think they get back on track. Malik Willis want to impress the scouts. Give me Liberty minus 8.5 in this game with a confidence of around 2.5 out of 5. Next up, one of my favorite bowls of bowl season, the LA Bowl, in terms of plays that I'm going to be taking advantage of. And it is Oregon State against Utah State. Oregon State is favored by 7 points. Heavy action on Oregon State in this game. Very disrespectful line to the Mountain West champion. Utah State is 6-1 against the spread away from home this season, where Oregon State is 1-5 against the spread away from home this season. This is a simple play for me. It's Utah State +7. I have a confidence of 5 out of 5 on this, and sprinkle on the money line if you want, because Utah State is going to compete in this game. Oregon State is nothing to write home about. Next up, the New Orleans Bowl. Louisiana Lafayette, -5.5 versus Marshall. Now, the pick here, I'm not taking the spread. I think this game's going to be ugly. I'm going with the under of 55. Now, Marshall, in their last 5 games, the under has hit 4 of those 5 games. Louisiana is a team that I look at, well, they're a good team. They have won every single game, 12 straight since losing to Texas. However, their coach is gone. Billy Napier went to Florida. Their interim staff is whittled down. Like 8 assistant coaches went to Florida with them. Ugly game. I think this is going to be low scoring. Give me the under. I think it'll be a good watch, but nothing to bet on. I don't see an advantage. So a 1.2 out of 5 confidence on that. Next up, the Myrtle Beach Bowl, Tulsa versus Old Dominion. I don't want to watch this game. I don't think you want to watch this game, but I'm going to give you a play anyway. The over is 8-4 in Tulsa's games this season. 52 is way too low for teams that score points. Give me the over, confidence of 1.5 out of 5. I'm not going to bore you with some of these games. I'm going to give you plays, and we're going to move on. The Idaho Potato Bowl next. I actually like this bowl. Wyoming is laying 3.5 to Kent State. Now, teams that are geographically closer to Boise, just a fun stat, where the game's being played, are 6-2 in the last 8 Idaho Potato Bowls. Kent State is 0-5 against the spread as a dog this season. Also, Kent State got embarrassed in the MAC championship game to Northern Illinois, a team that they were favored in. This game shows me, this game is just screaming to me to take Wyoming. I'm going to do it. Give me Wyoming -3.5 with the confidence of 2 out of 5. Next up, we got the Frisco Bowl. Frisco Bowl, San Diego State versus UTSA. UTSA is favored by 2 points. UTSA 9-4 against the spread in the last 13 games that UTSA has participated in. And San Diego State's last 6 games, they're 1-4-1 against the spread. San Diego State hasn't been sharp for the past 6-7 weeks. They've been ranked, but they haven't played good. They're still ranked. I don't get it. Yeah, they beat a Utah team in the beginning of the year, but Utah looks completely different than what they do now. I think this is, and they have a lack of offense, can't move the ball. Give me UTSA money line. They're going to be happy to be in this bowl game. I think they slaughter San Diego State. Confidence of 4. I'm taking a little bit of juice on this, but UTSA money line -135. Next up, we got the Armed Forces Bowl. Army -3.5 versus Missouri. Both teams limit turnovers, don't turn the ball over. Army is 4-1 in their last 5 games straight up in bowl games. Both teams will look to establish the run game, and that screams to me the under and Army. So what am I going to do? I'm going to take a teaser. I'm going to take a teaser of Army +3, under 65.5 in the game. And I'm not even going to sweat this one out. -120, confidence at 3.5 out of 5. We move on. Next up, the Gasparilla Bowl. Florida versus UCF. This line has jumped. It's at 6.5, then it's at 7, then it's at 7.5. And all it shows you is that the Sharps are saying Florida. But I'm going with UCF. I mean, if it's at 6.5, I'm going with Florida. If it's at 7.5, I'm going with UCF. Let's say it's at 7.5 because that's what my book's on. UCF is playing with a lot more motivation. They want to beat the big dogs in the state. Florida's on an interim staff. They're going to have a complete turnover. Both teams are horrendous against the spread. If you get a good number, take it one way or the other. So at 7.5, I'm taking UCF. But my confidence is around a 2 out of 5. Next up, we have the Frisco Football Classic between Miami of Ohio and North Texas. This isn't even a bowl game, folks. This is a game that they put together because there's more teams bowl eligible than they have room for bowl games. So they're like, yeah, let's give another bowl game. Let's create this football classic in Frisco, Texas, between Miami of Ohio and North Texas. North Texas is 6-0 straight up in their last 6. Miami of Ohio has lost. Their last loss came in heartbreaking fashion to Kent State, and that would have sent them to the MAC championship game. Miami of Ohio also, this is a crazy stat. Miami of Ohio has lost 31 straight games to FBS opponents, non-conference, which is just insane to me. So I think that's 32. They're not really going to get up for this bowl game. Give me North Texas +3, sprinkle on the money line, confidence of a 3.5 out of 5. Next up, we're getting into the nitty-gritty bowls. The Hawaii Bowl. Hawaii versus Memphis +7.5. This is a lock. I'm just telling you. Memphis 0-5 against the spread away from home this season. Hawaii 3-2-1 against the spread at home this season. The Rainbow Warriors are different on the island. I'm going to play this up until, because it's just going to keep moving. It started at like 4.5 and now it's at 7.5. I think it's a sprinkle on the money line. I think Hawaii wins outright on Christmas Eve. I don't think there's going to be much motivation for Memphis to play this game. So give me Hawaii +7.5. And yeah, my confidence of 4.7 out of 5. Next up, the Camellia Bowl. Ball State versus Georgia State. I'm not going to bore you. I'm not watching this game. All right, I'm just not going to watch it. Georgia State's -3.5. It's on Christmas Day. Georgia State 6-7 against the spread in their last 7 games. Ball State has lost their last 2 of 3 games, and before these games, they were in the driver's seat for the MAC West. The pick here is Georgia State -3.5. My confidence is a 2 out of 5. Next up, we have the Quick Lane Bowl, Western Michigan versus Nevada. Nevada is -3. This is the last game for Carson Strong, as well as their coach. I haven't had any luck betting Nevada this year. I think they're like 1-5 when I bet on them. Whatever. Western Michigan, this is like pretty much their home game. The game's in Detroit. Nevada's going across the country. The public's heavy on Nevada. I just don't see it. I think Western Michigan has a strong running game. I think it'll be a high-scoring game, but I like Western Michigan in the upset. Confidence at 2.5 out of 5. Next up, the Military Bowl. Boston College -3.5 versus Eastern Carolina. Heavy action on BC, which I like to see. Eastern Carolina 5-2 against the spread as a dog this season. BC finished the season with a very, very bad set of games. They've gotten blown out the last 3 games that they played. I think this is easy cash. Give me Eastern Carolina +3.5 with the confidence of 4 out of 5. Next up, Birmingham Bowl. Auburn -3 versus Houston. Auburn has lost their last 4 games, including the Iron Bowl, which they literally pissed away. This is a ranked dog. A 6-6 SEC team playing against a ranked American squad. Dana Holgrensen's going to have them ready to go because if they win this game, they still have a shot at a 12-win season, which would be very, very good for Houston. Give me Houston +3 and a confidence of 4.2 out of 5. Next up, we have the First Responders Bowl, Air Force versus Louisville. The total has gone over in the last 3 games Air Force has played. The total has gone over in Louisville's last 2 games that they've played. Both teams don't have the greatest defense, and they do have a little bit of up-tempo. Malik Cunningham, I think there's nobody on Air Force that can stop him. So give me the over 55. I think this is a no-brainer. 3.9 out of 5. Next up, we have the Liberty Bowl. Mississippi State -9 versus Texas Tech. This is the Mike Leach Bowl. Texas Tech, they should be lucky that they're even in a bowl game. Mississippi State has been balling. They've covered their last 5 of 6 coming into this game. So I don't think Texas Tech is very good. I've watched them all season. They pretty much suck. I think Mississippi State can cover this pretty easily at -9. I would put a small play on this, a confidence of 3 out of 5 on Mississippi State. Next up, the Holiday Bowl. Looks like UCLA and NC State -1. Looks like Chip Kelly's staying Publix heavy on NC State, but that's a cross-country game for them. I think kind of a home game for UCLA. I think UCLA can win this game. I like how Robinson plays at quarterback. And I think NC State's record's inflated a little bit because they should have lost some of these games that they've played, that they've won. So I'm going to go, it's a coin flip. I'd say a scale 1 to 10. Well, 1 to 5, I'm about too confident in UCLA money line. Next up, we have the Guaranteed Rate Bowl. West Virginia versus Minnesota. Minnesota -4.5. West Virginia's coach is 4-0 straight up in bowl games, which is impressive. Away from home, Minnesota is 4-1 against the spread. West Virginia is 2-4. Overall, I just think Minnesota is a better team, and I just can't lay any points with West Virginia. I'll probably get screwed over on this game because every time I bet against West Virginia, they lose. So take that with a grain of salt. Confidence at 3 out of 5. Give me Minnesota -4.5. Next up, the Fenway Bowl. SMU versus Virginia. Virginia is -2 in this game with the line movement going their way. I like what I see because I am backing Virginia in this game. Both teams will have new coaches at the end of the year. Both teams have gunslinging offenses. Both teams have top 25 offenses. What does that mean? It's going to be a very entertaining game. However, SMU has looked like a garbage fire since losing to Houston on the last second field goal. I like Virginia in this game, so give me Virginia. Next up, we have the Pinstripe Bowl. Virginia Tech -1 versus Maryland. This is another toss-up game. I think it should be interesting. No confidence in either team against the spread. I think this game's going to be ugly. Going to be cold in New York. Low scoring, 55 points. This game's going under. I have wrote down here in my notes that it's a 2.9 out of 5 spread. Just in total, like confidence, 2.9 out of 5. I'm boosting that up to around 4 out of 5. This game's going way under, folks. Give me the under of 55. Virginia Tech, in their games this season, their last 14 games overall, the under is hit in 10 of those. So give me the under at 55. Next up, we have the Cheez-It Bowl. Clemson versus Iowa State. Clemson's +1.5. Confidence of 5. Give me Clemson money line. No disrespect whatsoever to Iowa State. They're a good team, but Dabo's going to be playing up this underdog card. A down season for Clemson means that they're going to win 10. They have a chance to win 10 games. That's all you need to know. Give me Clemson money line. Confidence 4.9 out of 5. And also we got the Alamo Bowl. Oklahoma -4.5 versus Oregon. Oregon's a mess. They just hired the defensive coordinator from Georgia. Mario Cristobal's gone. Doesn't look like Thibodeau's playing in this game. Bob Stoops coming out of retirement to coach them for one game, which I think they're going to want to play hard for. And yeah, I just like OU in the spot. I think OU's a better team anyway than Oregon. A confidence at 3.5 out of 5. Give me Oklahoma, and I'm laying the chalk with the Sooners. Up we have the Duke Mayo Bowl, UNC versus South Carolina. Little cross-state rivalry action. Should be a good matchup, but both teams are absolutely horrendous against the spread. This is Sam Howell's last game in a disappointing season for UNC. USC's ahead of schedule a little bit under Shane Bieber. So I think USC is more motivated to play this game. I know that, it is Sam Howell's last game, Mac Brown. They got better recruits, better players. However, nothing that I've seen out of USC all season tells me that they're going to win this game. So I like South Carolina +7 with the sprinkle on the money line. And my confidence is around a 3 out of 5. Next up, we have the Music City Bowl, Tennessee versus Purdue. The over is hit in the last 5 Tennessee games. Both teams have decent offenses with pretty poor defenses, in my opinion. The over has hit in the last 4 of 5 Purdue games versus SEC teams. I think it happens again. So give me the over a 63, and my confidence is a 3 out of 5 again. Next up, we have the Las Vegas Bowl, Wisconsin versus Arizona State. I'm going to be out in Las Vegas at this time, so maybe we'll get to go see that game. Who knows? Wisconsin is a 7-point favorite. Arizona State has lost to pretty much every good team they played this year. They've beaten every bad team. Wisconsin's a good team. Wisconsin is 4-1 in bowl games under Paul Chryst. But this game will be competitive, in my opinion. I think Arizona State has a very good shot at covering the +7, and I think the game goes over 42.5. My confidence, again, is 3.2 out of 5. Next up, we have the Gator Bowl. This is one of my stronger plays, Texas A&M versus Wake Forest. The over has hit in Wake's last 6 of 8 games. They're 6-2 in their last 8 games. The over has hit. So basically, the over is 6-2 in Wake Forest's last 8 games. I'm sorry, I'm having a brain cramp here. Wake Forest defense is terrible. I've never seen a team that's so good, because Wake Forest is a good team. They just have a terrible defense. The over is 59.5. I'm taking that any day of the week when Wake Forest plays. Texas A&M can put up points. I like the confidence of a 4.75 out of 5. I think this is a strong play. Take the over. Next up, we have the Sun Bowl, Washington State versus Miami -2.5. Washington State has been playing good football since their coach stepped down because of the whole vaccine thing. They hired this new coach, the interim. Now they hired him full time. They've been playing well. Miami, Mario Cristobal's coming in, but they're on an interim staff. I'm not impressed with Miami. I think Mario Cristobal is going to have a ways to go. I'm taking Washington State's money line, and yeah, go Cougars. Confidence, 3 out of 5. Next up, we have the Barcelo Arizona Bowl, Central Michigan versus Boise State. Boise State's laying 8 points. Both teams have been hot. Boise, their last game of the season against San Diego State, they were up 16 points, and then they blew the game. I think in the last 5 games, Central Michigan is 4-1 against the spread. I think they go to 5-1 in their last 6. I think Central Michigan wins the game outright, but I'm taking Central Michigan +8. I think that's the play. My confidence is around a 3.5 out of 5. Next up, we have the Outback Bowl, getting into the better bowl games. Arkansas versus Penn State. Penn State -2. Arkansas is 4-1 in their last 5 games straight up. Penn State, I don't even think they're motivated. There's reports that they don't even want to play for James Franklin. I think this is another game that'll show why James Franklin is a very overrated coach. I think Arkansas is the better team. So I'm taking Arkansas money line, and I'm not even questioning it. I'll be playing this play. Give me the Razorbacks. Next up, we got the Citrus Bowl, Iowa versus Kentucky. Kentucky is 5-2 against the spread as a favorite. They're 8-4 overall. They got offense. Iowa doesn't have any offense. You saw that against Michigan. Will Levis is going to do his thing. I'm taking UK -2.5, and yeah, I like this play too. A 4 out of 5 confidence. And then the last bowl besides New Year's 6 is the Texas Bowl. Louisiana State University, aka LSU, versus Kansas State -1. LSU is cleaning house. Brian Kelly is in, and Ed Ogeron's out. They're on an interim staff. Quarterback's leaving. Johnson, he's entering the transfer portal. Kids that go to Louisiana State, go to LSU, go to the Bayou, go to Death Valley, you name it. Do you think they want to play in the Texas Bowl against Kansas State? No, they don't get up for that. You go to LSU to win national championships. So I'm taking Kansas State in this one. I think they thump them, and they've been solid. I mean, Kansas State's been a solid team all year. So I like Kansas State big in this game, and yeah, I like this a 4.5 out of 5. Coming up, we are doing New Year's 6 bowls. Boys, so we have 6 bowls to go, the New Year's 6, the bowls that you've been waiting for. First off, I just want to tell you, thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below, turn post notifications on, and yeah, so let's get into it. Cotton Bowl, college football semifinal, Bama versus Cincinnati. This is the type of game that minus 13.5, Alabama, it's screaming for you to take Cincinnati, but Alabama's been good. Like Alabama can cover this spread, and I don't know if I trust Cincinnati, man. I really don't. But I'm not touching the spread in this game. I'm really not. I would lean Cincy. Actually, I would lean Cincy because 13.5 is a big number. It's right on that. I would maybe boost it up to like 14, take Cincy. But the under has hit in Cincinnati's last 5 games as an underdog. The under has hit in 4 of the last 6 games. Bama has been favored. I think the pick in this game is the under of 58, and that's what I'm riding with in the Cotton Bowl. So give me the under. Next up, we got the Orange Bowl college football semifinal, Michigan, Georgia. Last loss from Georgia, they were embarrassed by Alabama. Take some momentum away. Michigan's got all the momentum in the world. Michigan's 11-2 against the spread, the best in the country. They're playing great football, running the ball, playing defense. I like Michigan plus 7.5, and I love their money line too. So I'm confident. A 4 out of 5 on this one. I like Michigan. Next up, we got in the Fiesta Bowl, Notre Dame versus Oklahoma State. This could quite frankly be the Prince's best pick of bowl pick'em. I think Oklahoma State, that was a horrendous loss to Baler. Baler's a good team, but they pissed the game away. Notre Dame's got a new coach, Marcus Freeman, who they love playing for and who the guys were really pushing to get the job. I think they're going to be so motivated. I think this is the easiest pick of the New Year's 6. And I don't think Oklahoma State, Mike Gundy has failed to win big games in the past and in the present. Notre Dame minus 2.5. And also another quick fact, Notre Dame is 20-0 straight up in their last 20 games as a favorite. Make that 21. Give me Notre Dame big. Next up, we got Rose Bowl. The Rose Bowl, Utah versus Ohio State. This is a tough game to call out on the New Year's 6. I think it might be the toughest. I would lean the Buckeyes just because I think they have better talent overall on the roster, and they haven't played since Michigan, so they're going to want to come out, guns a-blazing. But I wouldn't be surprised if Utah came out and won this game. Very low confidence scale. I'm going 1.5 out of 5. I'm taking Ohio State minus 6.5. And then without further ado, we got the Sugar Bowl, Baler versus Ole Miss. Public is big on Baler in this game. I can see why. Baler plays good defense. But Ole Miss is 5-2 in their last 7 games against the spread. Ole Miss is also 6-0 in their last 6 games when playing in January. I think this is another tough one to pick, but if I had to say my pick out of confidence out of 1 to 5, I'm going 3 on this one. I'm taking Ole Miss's money line. I think Matt Corral and Lane Kiffin step up and do their thing. So those were all 43 bowl games. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm going to post down in the description all of my picks so you can follow along and put them in. Let's cash this bowl season. Coming up in the new year, 2022. This is probably going to be the last video of 2021, but 2022 is going to be our year on this channel, and we're going to take this channel to new heights, and we're going to continue to post good plays and be transparent as you can be. So thank you guys all. I hope you guys enjoy your Christmas, New Year's, whatever you guys celebrate. So take care. We'll see you in few weeks. Let's get it.